Attorneys L. Chris Stewart of Stewart C. and Felton. Um, we told y'all that this wasn't over. We told you it wasn't over. Today is a historic day for civil rights, particularly in officer-involved shootings. This is one of the largest sentences ever. Being found guilty of second-degree murder and obstruction of justice is historic. And I hope that the entire nation understands how big this is and what this means for everyone, no matter what color you are. This is all people crave, is accountability. That's all that people want when you're questioning why somebody may be kneeling, when you're seeing why someone may be marching in the street. They're not doing it just to cause a fuss. They're doing it because the sense of accountability has been lost in officer-involved shootings. And many people have tried to separate everyone by saying because you want accountability, you're against law enforcement. But we don't buy that. I don't buy that. We respect and love the police officers that are out there every day risking their lives. And they are. If you hate every police officer, then you're the problem. But there's also a problem that goes unseen, that many people acknowledge with a march or a kneel, that justice like this does not happen. That's all people want. No matter what color you are, no matter what sex you are, people want accountability. Because when you have none, you have hopelessness. You have apathy. You have anger. We have to get this type of justice because being a police officer is one of the most powerful jobs in the country and should be respected. But that doesn't mean you're above the law. That doesn't mean you can do as you please. As the Department of Justice said during this trial and today, no one is above the law. So if the death of Walter Scott, with all of the great reforms that have happened, can make the next officer think 1 second longer before pulling that trigger and changing an entire nation, then it was all worth it, and he would be happy with the results and the changes that happened. We don't all have to be separated or divided. All we have to do is listen and understand why someone is upset, why someone has to hold a picture like this, why they have to watch as normally the officer hugs their family and walks out of court smiling. Don't think that this was given to us just because there's a video. Videos do not get you justice anymore. Anger and bricks don't get you justice. Determination, prayer, faith, and being the forefront of a family like this and never giving up gets you justice. And holding the Department of Justice accountable, making sure they keep prosecuting. Making sure your district attorneys fight and don't give up. Or don't prosecute because the victim doesn't look like them. That's what gets you justice. It's been an honor for all this time to represent this family and proud of the history that was made today. Ms. Judy Scott would like to say some words.
This is the day that the Lord has made, and I am rejoicing and I'm glad in it. I thank and I praise God for each and every one of you all. I thank God for all the prayers that went up for our family. I thank God for the attorneys. I just thank God for everything that He has done. My soul is rejoicing right now because of Jesus. I thank God that He was in our lives.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Scott. I'm the oldest brother of Walter Scott. At the beginning of this ordeal, the family would desire to get justice. We feel like we have gotten justice today. We feel that we have moved on. And not only did we get justice today, but the truth was told. And we did not believe the original report. We did not believe that. We did not trust that. But at the end of the day, God had a ram in the bush. And his name was Santana, who was brave enough to film this horrendous act that was done to my brother. Our family has changed in a way that we will never be the same again. But through the grace of God, we have come a long way. And we have come through the storm and through the tears, but we have not fallen. Our head are not bowed, but we are head held high and proud to be here today and still seeking justice for Walter. And the process, you know, other families may not receive this, but we have set a roadmap for them to follow, to believe in God and try to keep the peace. We thank Charleston for keeping the peace. We thank the United States for keeping peace. And we do it the right way. And we may have not gotten enough time that we think that might be suitable, but we got time. And this is the first, and it's historical. And we did it all the right way. All the I's was crossed, all the our I's was dotted, all the T's were crossed. And we are very thankful and grateful for being able to be at this moment today. And we do thank God, and we thank everybody that had a part in this. And these gentlemen has been here with us from the beginning, Chris Stewart and Justin Bamberg. They have been the family attorneys, and we've been connected with the state and DOJ, and we really do appreciate them coming in. And I thought it would have been over sooner than now, but it's been a long ride for my family, and we've had a lot of heartache, a lot of crying, and we've seen our brother run and die many a times, and that can never stop and that can never change. But we find the victory. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. And this is just a start to our joy. And we thank God for that. Thank you.
And next, Hayden Santana will speak, who this wouldn't have happened without him.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Thank you, brother.
Hello, my name is Hayden Santana. Today, I know there's a victory for justice, there's a victory for the Walter Scott family, and for many other members of the community and the nation. It's not a victory for Michael Slager family, which is also not my victory, because I don't feel happy for the situation that another human being have to go through. I wish, that this will never have to happen. I wish he never had to take that bad decision that he did, that today I know that he regretted, and also his family. But I believe that sometimes sacrifice have to happen in order to make changes. And this is a big example. I hope that citizens and law enforcement can just see this journey as an example, and that we can respect our law enforcement. The law enforcement can respect our citizens. Can we as a human can respect human life? That we don't came to this world to destroy each other. We came to love each other. And that's all I can say. It's not easy. It's not easy, like I say, to the Scott family. I have been always neutral in this journey. My only side have only been justice and the truth. But changes have to come through sacrifice, and I just want to say that this sacrifice, can remark our position, our history, and everything, so we can come along as a community, as a nation, as human beings. Thank you.
And Justin and Rodney.
Good afternoon. My name is Rodney Scott. I'm the younger brother of Walter Scott. A songwriter wrote a song, said, "We have come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord." And that's exactly what we did 2.5 years ago. We started at the beginning trusting in the justice system, and today we made history, getting justice. My heart goes out to all the families that didn't get justice. And there's still a lot of work to be done in the justice system. But we can be thankful today, the Scott family. And hopefully it sets a platform for the future that all families will get the justice that they're still desiring to get. And I'm thankful for the justice system that worked on our behalf. Chris Stewart, Justin Bamberg, Scarlett Wilson, Eric Fishman. They did a wonderful job. The Scott family is pleased. I want the world to know that the Scott family is pleased. We got justice. And like I said, I hope that every other family that's still trying to get justice will get justice for their families. Thank you again.
And last comment, and then we'll take some questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've kind of heard by everything that can be said. My name is Justin Bamberg, one of the attorneys for the family, also a state representative here in South Carolina. 20 years is a long time, and it's a long time to think about this. And during sentencing today, Rodney, Walter's brother, stood up in court and pulled this out of his pocket. It's a light bulb. And it's important to remember how we got here. And we got here over this. A light bulb. A man lost his life after his vehicle was stopped for a taillight. And what we've got to do, yes, this is a sense of justice here, but the fight for justice can't stop here. And we all owe it to ourselves and those around us to continue to fight to make the system better. What Michael Slager did is he damaged this community, he damaged law enforcement, he damaged family lives, but he set us back. His actions set us back even further. And we've got to fix that. It's on government to step in and make sure that law enforcement officers are trained appropriately. It's on government to make sure that they step in and they fund local departments so they have the resources that they need, so that these officers are paid what they need. It's on us to hold government accountable. Get out and vote. Make sure you have people in place who don't want another Walter Scott. They don't want to see another mother have to stand up in front of the world, right, and lead them by faith. They don't want to see another brother have to stand up and talk about how night after night after night he receives his brother getting shot in the back. And they don't want another officer's family, another 1-year-old, to realize that for 20 years he's going to have to see his father behind a piece of glass. So yes, this is a good day, but this is only the beginning. So thank you all very much.
Anthony,
Take a few questions. Go ahead.
yeah, Anthony, a question for you and Rodney, both of you are Walter's brothers. Have you two, in your hearts, been able to forgive Michael Slager for shooting and killing your brother?
To answer your question, yes, sir, I have been able to forgive Michael Slager for killing my brother. And only until I had gotten forgiveness for him was I able to move forward. And after receiving that forgiveness for him, I was able to go forward with my life and have peace of mind, peace in my heart.
What about you, Rodney?
I have. Like I said at the beginning, you know, I had to forgive because God is forgiving to us. So I never changed my thoughts or my feelings since day one.
Judy, could we ask you the same question? And at the same time, when we're talking about forgiveness, I'm also guessing you guys don't want us to get it twisted. That, you know, while you forgive him, you still hold him accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
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 Judy, can you speak to that?
Yes, we are held accountable for our actions. And I did forgive him at the beginning because of the love of Christ in me and because God forgave me. I had to examine myself because the forgiveness came so easily. But I thank God, having a background like I did.
At the same time, though, I'm
Yes.
guessing that while you forgive, you still don't want anyone to forget. But that doesn't mean you absolve him. Or am I putting words in your, am I making those words up for you?
To answer your question, and our forgiveness, the forgiveness does not say that us as a family do not want justice. We wanted justice for my brother. And not only did we want justice for my brother, but we wanted the truth to come out. And through the whole entire ordeal, there was a story that was told that there was a vicious fight. That my brother grabbed the taser. We as a family never believed that. We as a family never took the word of the officer at the time. And we are hurt, and we do have some type of passion for the Slager family, and that they have to suffer as well. And we do forgive Michael Slager for what he did. But yes, we did want justice for my brother, and we feel like we have gotten a sense of justice. It can't bring him back. It can't bring Walter back. But justice for what was done to him, and for all the days we have to watch him running over and over again, running for his last time and being gunned down and shot in his back.
Ms. Scott, 2.5 years after Slager shot your son, you took responsibility for that in court today. Was that important for you to hear?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, ma'am, I said 2.5 years after he shot your son, Slager took responsibility for shooting him in court today. Was that important for you to hear that as a mother?
Yes, it was, but it was a little late hearing it because it took so long. I guess it takes some people that long to come to themselves, but I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I can answer
and
that.
I'd like to thank also, I can't forget those that were there from the beginning, like Elder Johnson and Elder Rivers and Dixon and all them that was there by my side the whole time. I praise God for them.
I know that you said that the fight is not over, and even though you guys were able to get justice for Walter Scott, your brother, that the fight's not over for others around the nation. What are you guys going to do to be a voice for change?
Well, absolutely. We're going to support the teams that were trying to fight for families, other families that did not get justice. There's still a whole lot of work to be done as far as civil rights, family that has sons that has been shot and still not getting justice. So, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of work to be done, and we're definitely going to support because they supported us. And to answer his question, all the false narratives that were going on repeatedly for the past 2.5 years, and then every day we sat in court this week, we watched the film of my brother being shot, and it was fast forwarded, slowed down, frozen, and just to hear the gunshots. I mean, we relived 2.5 years ago this week, and when Michael Slager got up for the first time, because in my mind I said, wow, he never said sorry, he never showed any emotions, but today he did. Whether he meant it or not, he did. He apologized to the family. He called each and every last one of our names in court today and apologized. So who are we not to forgive? You know, we're all human. And whether he meant it or not, he said it. So it's whether we want to accept it or not. I accept it. I'm sure my family has. And we want to move on, you see. This is a new beginning, okay? So today sets a new beginning. We hope we set the tone for the entire world. You know, we have to move on. You know, my brother will never come back. We'll never ever see him again. I'm going to have my days. I'm going to hurt.
Yes, sir.
My family's going to hurt. Family reunions, birthdays, celebrations. We're going to hurt. But we still have to move on.
As painful as that video has been for all of y'all to watch and have to relive those moments over and over, Chris, Justin, do you think that we would have gotten the sentence that we got today without that video being out so early the way it was?
Of course not. You know, you have to understand what the biggest thing, one of the biggest things from the Walter Scott tragedy is you saw an officer kill someone and then move the taser next to the body to fit a story
Narrative.
that he had concocted in his head that he knew the media would just accept. He knew the public would just accept. He knew his supervisors would accept. And so now it simply can tell you maybe the person did not have a gun.
That's right.
Maybe the police department immediately coming out and saying this person was a drug dealer or alleged drug dealer or a criminal or a whatever the narrative is in these cases. That's done to make you all not like them. You all at home watching, it's to make you say, oh, their life doesn't matter as much because they were probably a drug dealer or they're black or they're poor or whatever it may be. That's what this shows you, is that you can't believe the initial narrative. You have to have someone that investigates these cases. We didn't even know the tape existed when we took this case.
That's right.
We took it because I didn't think a 50-something-year-old black man with a great family would attack a cop. I just didn't think it. I didn't believe that. So you can't believe the narratives. Investigate. If the cop didn't do anything wrong, great. He walks away. But if he did something wrong, simply hold him accountable. It's just simple.
One more question.
Can I ask, what message do you think that this sentencing would send to law enforcement in communities of color?
Stop and think, or you can end up 20 years behind bars. You won't just get away every time. You can't just take a life that easy. You can't write them off as, oh, it's a poor black person or a poor white person or whatever it may be, and write them off saying that everyone's going to cover for you. The media is now looking into these situations. There's been reporters we've been working with that have been on this thing constantly. People are watching and people are starting to actually care. And if they're not caring, they're being forced to care because people are demonstrating and making you pay attention. So that's what this lesson is about, is you have to just make sure that your first duty is protecting life and not easily taking it.
Thank you very much. Let's walk this way.